It's late. You're lying in bed, exhausted, but your mind won't shut off. It replays a conversation from 3 years ago. It invents problems that haven't even happened yet. It asks the same useless question 100 times. What if? What if? What if? If that sounds like you, understand this: overthinking is not who you are. It's a habit. And every habit, no matter how deep, can be broken. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics fought the exact same restless mind you're fighting tonight. No phones, no noise, just a human mind that refused to be quiet. And they built a system to master it. Not to silence every thought, but to stop those thoughts from running their lives. In this video, I'm going to give you 8 Stoic lessons to calm your mind and stop overthinking, starting today. Some are simple, a few will be uncomfortable. But if you truly use even 3 of them, you'll feel the noise in your head begin to fade. Stay with me all the way to the end, because the last lesson is the one that finally sets you free. And if you're tired of a mind that never rests, a mind you can actually quiet, control, and trust, subscribe to the Silent Stoic right now. Every video here turns ancient wisdom into real strength you can use. Hit the bell too, so the next lesson reaches you exactly when you need it. Now let's begin. The first lesson is the root of everything, because almost all overthinking comes from one mistake: obsessing over things you were never able to control. Epictetus, born a slave and beaten by his masters, taught one idea that set him free while he was still in chains. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your effort is up to you. Your choices, your attitude, your next action, those are yours. But other people's opinions, the outcome, the past, the future, what might go wrong, none of that is in your hands. Watch your own mind for a day and you'll see the truth. Nearly every spiral is about something you cannot control. Will they text back? What did he mean by that? What if it all goes wrong? You replay it and rehearse it, as if enough thinking will finally give you control. But it never does. It just burns you out. So here's the tool. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, ask one question: is this in my control? If it is, then stop thinking and act. If it isn't, then it's not yours to carry, and you let it go. Not because it doesn't matter, but because worry has never once changed an outcome. This single question is the off switch for half your overthinking. The second lesson exposes the lie your mind keeps telling you. Seneca wrote it in a single sentence that could save you years of anxiety. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Think about that. Your mind is not a reporter telling you the facts. It's a storyteller, and it loves horror stories. It takes one small uncertainty and builds a disaster out of it. The awkward text becomes the end of a friendship. The one mistake at work becomes losing your job, your home, everything. You live through catastrophes that never actually arrive. And here's the part almost no one notices. Look back on your own life. How many of the things you lay awake terrified about actually came true? Almost none. You've survived nearly every worst-case scenario your mind ever sold you, because most of them were never real. So when the horror story starts, catch it. Ask yourself, what is actually happening right now, in front of me, not in my imagination? Reality, right now, is almost always manageable. It's the movie in your head that's unbearable. Learn to tell the two apart, and you take away most of fear's power. The third lesson is where peace actually lives. Overthinking can only survive in 2 places: the past and the future. It feeds on regret about what already happened and fear about what hasn't happened yet. But there is one place it cannot follow you: this present moment. Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the entire Roman Empire, reminded himself of this constantly. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Not because the man had no worries, he carried the weight of an empire, but because he understood that the only moment you ever truly have to deal with is this one. Notice something. Right now, in this exact second, are you actually in danger? Is anything truly wrong in this moment? Or is your suffering entirely made of memories and predictions? For most of us, most of the time, the present moment is completely fine. It's the time travel that destroys us. So pull yourself back, feel your breath, feel your feet on the ground. Name 3 things you can see around you right now. It sounds too simple to work, but that's exactly why it works. You cannot overthink the past and pay full attention to the present at the same time. Keep returning to now, again and again, and the noise starts to lose its grip. The 4th lesson is the one that breaks the loop for good. Overthinking is what happens when the mind is stuck in motion but the body stays still. You think and think and think because thinking feels like progress, but it isn't, it's just spinning. The Stoics were never impressed by men who could sit and analyze forever. They valued action. Epictetus said it plainly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Not think about doing, do. Here's the truth. Your anxious mind doesn't want you to know. A decision, even an imperfect one, brings more peace than endless perfect analysis. The moment you take one real step, the fog begins to clear. Action gives your mind something solid to stand on. Rumination gives it more room to run. So the next time you're trapped in a loop, stop trying to think your way out and act your way out instead. Make the call, send the message. Take the first small step, however imperfect. You'll notice something almost magical. The worry that felt so heavy in your head starts to shrink the instant you move. Motion kills anxiety, so move. The 5th lesson takes the thing you're avoiding and drags it into the light. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the deliberate contemplation of what could go wrong. It sounds like the opposite of calm, but it's one of the most powerful tools they ever built. Here's why it works. When a fear stays vague, it stays enormous. A shapeless what-if can grow forever in the dark. But the moment you force it to become specific, to have a name, a size, a real shape, it stops being a monster and becomes just a problem. And problems can be faced. Seneca advised his students to sit down and actually look at their fears directly. What is the worst that could realistically happen? And then the question that changes everything. And if it did, could I handle it? Almost always the honest answer is yes. You'd survive it, you'd adapt, you'd find a way, the same way you always have. So instead of running from your fear all night, sit down and name it. Write it out. Ask, what exactly am I afraid of, and what would I actually do if it happened? A fear you've looked in the eye and planned for is a fear that can no longer own you in the dark. The 6th lesson is the release valve for the mind. So much overthinking is really just resistance, replaying something that already happened, wishing it had gone differently, fighting a reality that cannot be undone, and that fight is one you can never win. Epictetus gave the cure. Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and your life will go well. The Stoics called this loving your fate, meeting what is, instead of endlessly demanding what should have been. Understand what this is and what it isn't. Acceptance is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's stopping the war against a reality that already exists. You can accept that something happened and still work to make things better from here. In fact, that's the only place real change can begin. But as long as your mind is stuck screaming, "This shouldn't have happened," you stay frozen, powerless, replaying a moment you cannot touch. So when you catch yourself fighting the past, say the hard words, "This already happened. It is real. And I choose to move forward from here." The moment you stop wrestling what cannot be changed, an enormous amount of mental weight simply drops. That freed energy is now yours to use on the one thing you can shape, what comes next. The 7th lesson gives you the one thing overthinking destroys: perspective. When you're deep in a spiral, your problem swells until it fills your entire world. It feels enormous, permanent, life-defining. But that size is an illusion your mind creates by standing too close. Marcus Aurelius had a practice for this. He would imagine rising up, above his own body, above the city, above the whole earth, until he could see how small any single moment truly is against the vastness of time and the world. The Stoics called it the view from above, And from up there, the thing that felt like the end of everything shrinks back down to what it really is. Try it right now with whatever's been weighing on you. Ask, will this matter in 5 years? Will I even remember it in 1? Zoom out and picture the millions of people alive right now, each carrying their own storms, each moment passing and dissolving into the next. Your problem is real, but it is not the whole universe. It only feels that way because you're standing an inch from it. So step back, take the wide view. Most of what steals your sleep tonight will be forgotten by next season. Give it its true size, and you give yourself room to breathe. And here is the 8th lesson, the one that ties all the others together, and the one that finally sets you free. You are not forced to entertain every thought that enters your mind. This is the great misunderstanding at the heart of overthinking. People believe their thoughts happen to them, like weather they simply have to endure. But the Stoics knew a deeper truth. A thought may arrive on its own, but whether it stays, whether you feed it, whether you follow it down into the spiral, that is a choice. And the choice is always yours. Marcus Aurelius captured it perfectly. He wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. Read that again. The anxiety wasn't coming at him from the world, it was in his own judgment of things, which meant he had the power to set it down. So picture your mind as a gate, and you as the one standing guard. Thoughts will come, worry, regret, fear, the same old anxious story. You cannot stop them from knocking, but you decide which ones you let in and which ones you turn away. When the spiral begins, you can quietly say, "Not this one, not tonight." And you turn your attention, again and again, back to what is true, what is useful, and what is in your control. You will not silence your mind completely, no one can, and that was never the goal. But you can stop being ruled by it. You can become the guard at the gate instead of the victim behind it. That is where peace begins. So there they are, 8 Stoic lessons to calm your mind and stop overthinking. Separate what you control from what you don't. Remember, you suffer more in imagination than reality. Return to the present. Turn thought into action. Face your fear by name. Accept what you cannot change. Take the view from above. And guard the gate of your mind, because you choose what stays. You will not master all 8 tonight. You don't need to. Pick one. Use it the very next time your mind starts to spin. Because a calm mind isn't a gift some people are born with. It's built, quietly, one caught thought at a time, by men who decided they would no longer be ruled by the noise. Your mind can be a peaceful place to live, but you have to take back the keys. If this gave you something real, hit the like button so it reaches another man who needs it tonight. And subscribe to walk this path with us, one lesson at a time. You have everything you need. Now go and quiet the storm. See you in the next one. Stay unshaken.